Hey everyone, I'm Chantal. Thank you so much for joining us today on the Feel Good Sales Podcast. Today I'm going to talk about my passion, which is Pinterest, and ways that you can use it to grow your business and have leads that reoccur month after month.
Today, I am super thrilled, you guys, to have on the Feel Good Sales Podcast, Chantal. Y'all, she is a Pinterest strategist. Holy cow. I know about Pinterest, but I'm afraid of it. So I'm like, Chantal, you have to get on. You have to come on the podcast and tell us all about it. Now, let me tell you guys a little bit. Chantal has been helping entrepreneurs and small business owners grow their audience and drive consistent traffic with Pinterest for over 6 years. Whether it's keyword research, full service management, she does it all. All right. And she knows exactly how to make Pinterest work for your business. Today, we're going to explore at least 3 letters. All right. We're going to do the 2 E's and we're going to do the L. So we're going to do establish and build, elevate and excite, and leverage and connect. All right. So let's get to it, Chantal. I'm excited.
Me too.
Woohoo! All right. Did you want to add anything to that? Do you have anything special going on right now? I should have asked you this before, but yeah.
I have my keyword special for people who don't want to do their keyword research themselves. So I teach you how to do it yourself. But if you get that pit in your stomach, like this is not for me, I don't want to do this, I hate research, then I'll take care of it for you.
Beautiful. And what we'll find out later is that Pinterest is all about keywords. Okay.
Yeah.
So Chantal's going to tell us all about that. And also Chantal has a new Facebook group. All
Yes.
right. So we'll put those links in the show notes for you guys to connect with Chantal. So the reason I know a little bit about Pinterest is because in my former life, and I still am, the SEO coach. All right. And Google loves Pinterest. Okay. So if you have a website that you want it to be found, you need Pinterest. So anyway, I'm going to let our expert talk about it. So let's talk about the first E, which is establish and build. What are some tips, some suggestions? Can you help us out with Pinterest?
Yeah, absolutely. So on Pinterest, keywords, like Michelle said, are everything. If you don't use keywords, it's like putting up a billboard in the middle of the cornfield and hoping for lots of clients, which I don't know if you've tried it yet, but I can imagine it wouldn't be overly effective. So one thing we want to do is know what keywords to use, and you want to use them throughout your profile. So one way you can find the keywords on Pinterest is just go to Pinterest. Up near the top corner, you're going to see a search bar or a search, what's that called? Magnifying glass?
Yeah, the search.
Yeah. So you can click on that and you can type in words related to your niche. So Michelle would be something to do with sales. If she typed in sales in the search bar, she's going to see both a list that comes up in the drop-down menu from the search bar, and you're going to see a bunch of different keywords in there. Other people, like extensions of what people are looking for when they say sales. And you're also going to see a bunch of bubbles across the top. And those bubbles, you can just keep diving deeper into the bubbles. So it may be sales for beginners. And then you can click on beginners and then see what other terms people are using. And you can continue with that process.
You wouldn't happen to have that like on your computer right now, would you?
Yeah. Can I share my screen?
Yes, please.
Oh, I didn't know.
I love visuals. Please, yes, because we're on YouTube, and then also on Spotify. Is we get to see screens, and then in our groups, we get to see screens. Yes.
Okay, so can you see my screen right now?
Yes, we can. Yay!
Okay, so this is the search function I was talking about. So I haven't searched for sales, but let's just see what comes up. So we're searching sales here. You can see different things like sales motivation, sales skills, and ignore these numbers beside my search. This is my third party keyword tool, and these numbers come from Keyword Planner, which is different, which is Google's keyword tool, and that's different than what people are searching for on Pinterest.
Okay. Okay. Now
So
I do have a tool that works with Pinterest. It's called
is it?
Keywords Everywhere.
That's what it is.
Okay. All right. And that, I think those are the numbers for Pinterest, I thought.
Apparently, these numbers I've been told are based on Keyword Planner.
Oh, bummer. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
unfortunately.
yeah.
But you can see sales skills, sales techniques, quotes, dashboard. So let's go to sales techniques. And then across the top, you're going to see all of these bubbles that I was talking about. These things that pop up here are just my keywords everywhere tool. So you don't have to worry about that. But you can see so we are on sales techniques. You can see tips, business, best, phone, closing, effective, marketing. Let's just try marketing and see what
Yeah.
else. And then do you see all these other ones that it keeps giving us? Like we can keep diving deeper. Social media, business, tips. And this is how you're going to find all of these keywords. Um, so that's the keyword piece. I'm going to stop sharing just for a second. So those are the keywords that you're wanting to find, and that's what I can help with. I like deliver a list of over 80 keywords. So I do all the research for you so that you can start, what's the term? Off the ground running? That's not it,
Yeah,
but
right? That's it. That's
well, that
exactly
is
it.
it.
So you
Okay.
can hit the ground
Hit
running.
the ground running. That's what it is. Um,
Exactly.
so I'll give you all the keywords, which is going to allow you to then optimize your entire account. So you can use those keywords in your bio, which I always recommend. Um, so Michelle, you would have two options. You could do like your name, or you could just do feel good sales pro, feel good sales podcast Michelle LaRose. I think you can only have 30 characters, so that's a bit wordy. But you want to use a keyword in your account name.
Okay.
Um,
Good.
so whatever your
Excellent point.
yeah, so that's where you would put what you do in your profile. So that's one way Pinterest knows what you're talking about. Next, you want to update your bio. So you want to create a bio that incorporates 2 to 3 keywords naturally so that people know what your content is about.
So
You want
naturally, meaning you like write them in a sentence, right? We don't
right.
just want to like list our keywords, say hashtag keywords or whatever. We want to,
Yeah,
we want to
absolutely.
organically add them
And
to,
you can totally use ChatGPT to help you come up with names. You would need to provide. What I usually recommend is if I give you the list of keywords that you just upload it into ChatGPT, and then ask it to reference that document in writing you a bio. Because probably if you've used it before, it already knows a bit about you.
and you need to make sure you say a Pinterest bio because
Mhm.
it will, so Chat GPT is smart that way.
Yeah.
It will modify whatever you give it, but be as specific as possible in your prompts. That's excellent suggestion. I love that, Chantal. Use
And
AI.
unfortunately, yeah, use it wherever you can. Unfortunately, if you ask it to do keyword research for you, it will tell you it's pulling from Pinterest, but it's actually just pulling from Keyword Planner. So you're really not getting ahead by doing that. And then also using ChatGPT, if you ask it to write pin descriptions for you, we haven't touched on that yet, but when you want to write the descriptions for your pins, it's automatically going to create hashtags for you.
That's
Hashtags,
awesome.
well,
Oh, is
yes,
it?
but no.
Sorry.
So hashtags used to be a thing on Pinterest like a couple of years ago. But they've moved away from it. And so hashtags no longer serve you well on Pinterest. So
Okay.
that's where you want to naturally incorporate the keywords whenever you can. And I,
Hashtag no hashtags. Okay,
yeah,
got it.
no hashtags. And you want your pin descriptions. Let's just talk about pin descriptions. Or
Yes.
let's back up a little bit. Sorry, boards. So creating boards is another thing that helps Pinterest know what you're talking about.
Can
So
you share your screen again?
yeah, well,
Can we get a visual? Okay.
I'm just on my Pinterest scrap account.
Okay.
Um,
That may be like these are maybe terms that people aren't familiar with. Like
yeah,
what's the difference between a board and a pin and a yeah.
so the boards are ways that you're going to categorize your content. So
Okay.
if you were like a makeup person, just for example, because it's going to give me lots of good ideas, you would have one for like nails, hair, face makeup, like foundation, blush, all the different things. If you were
So you can
selling,
have a board for each one?
yeah,
Oh my gosh. Okay.
yeah, absolutely. And then
Okay.
you give that board a great description, which is also something I offer in my keyword service. So I'll create 10 boards for you with keyword rich descriptions. And now Pinterest knows all the things that you talk about.
It's
And
kind of
then
like a mini website, isn't it?
yeah, yeah.
That's so cool. Oh my gosh.
And from
That
there you can create your pins, and your pin you can save your pins to the places that make sense. The boards that make sense. So let's go back to sales.
okay.
So what are some boards that you think would, well, we know from looking at let me share my
I
screen
could
again.
create a board for each one of my letters.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That would be a great way to use it.
What fun.
Yeah.
Oh my
And you
gosh.
would want to do
Okay.
like you would just want to make sure that the words you're using though are what people are searching for on
Yeah.
Pinterest. So you may have to do like F dash and then like a word that describes what F does if those two terms that you have aren't popular on Pinterest.
Well, that would be keyword research.
Yeah,
Keywords.
absolutely.
Yeah. So find and
Absolutely.
align. It would be things like target audience. It would be like, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And the wonderful thing about Pinterest is because it's a search engine, your posts are going to bring you traffic for months and years to come. And that's absolutely true for all of my clients. Like I have a client who has like a 5-year-old pin and it's still bringing him thousands of views to his website every single month.
That's awesome.
I mean, that's a more established account, of course, but it's just an example of, that monthly recurring traffic or leads, depending on what your goal is.
So I have a quick question to
Yeah,
clarify that. So is the point of having a Pinterest to drive leads to your website?
basically. So
Okay.
you can drive leads wherever you want them to go,
Okay.
whether that's your podcast, whether it's a sales page or an email freebie. If you write blog posts, you can direct them there. If you're regularly using Instagram, you can link directly to the Instagram posts. In which case, I would recommend using a call to action in your Instagram description so that when people get over to your post, they can see, they can follow up with you in some way so that they're not just landing there and being like, oh, what do I do? Um, you can link it to your YouTube channel. Like there's so many different things you can link to. The only one that's difficult is linking to a Facebook group, and that's because it will bring you to the main join screen. So if people aren't aware that it's going to lead them to a Facebook group, they might get confused, and that's where it would be important to say, like, join my free Facebook group, and then people are going to be they're going to expect to land on that page.
Okay. Awesome. Can we talk about the actual pins themselves now?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So the ideal dimension for your pins is 1,500 across, or 1,000 across and 1,500 high, which is what Canva will give you.
So
So
like
it's
a
like
rectangle.
a vertical pin,
Okay.
yeah, like a rectangle. And there are some pins that are, so I'll just show you actually.
Oh yeah, please.
Um, okay, so these are the pins. So we're doing sales techniques marketing. And so you can see these are the size of pins. So they're either the 1,000 across 1,500 high, or there will be pins like this, which are 1,000 across and I think 1920 high. More
That's a
like,
video.
yeah, more like this. Well, this one is a video, but more like the size of like a longer style like this. So when you go on Pinterest, I can guarantee when you do your search, you're going to find some square images like this. It's important to note that this square image is a sponsored pin.
Okay.
So you want to, if you're seeing square images, they're sponsored because Pinterest wants, like this one's sponsored, but it's,
It's a video, so it's
yeah.
probably why it's longer.
Again, oh, and that's not a square. So this one's actually not showing me too many squares, which is good. But here's a sponsored post again, another square. So the point is that Pinterest likes you to take up, Pinterest wants you to take up space. So the square pins aren't going to do you any good. Always be making the longer style pins. You're taking up more space, and that's what Pinterest wants to see. It's like if you started suddenly posting pins on Instagram, I'm sure your traffic would like go way down because your image is getting cut off, you're not showing the proper format, everything like that.
So I love that point because you need to know what platform you're on and what each platform prefers. So
Absolutely.
that's part of establish and build is that it's also the other E because uh, you want to please the algorithm. Okay, so there's a certain size that your Facebook posts need to be. There's a certain format. I know Facebook loves like
Color
uh,
block.
yeah, like those color blocks, and then Pinterest. So make sure they're that size. One thing I noticed as you were scrolling over some of them had an overlay. That was pretty cool. So like, uh, some were just the pins, but then some of them, if you scroll over it, like yeah, that one send free the government reminders. Oh, it is a sponsor, but see how it kind of like changes color. That's cool. Do they
Yeah, I
all
think
do that?
it's just to show that you're on that specific one.
Oh, okay. All right. See, sorry. I'm
No,
like
that's
checking on
okay.
Pinterest because I'm like, gosh, that's a really cool feature. Oh, it isn't. Anyway, sorry.
No, which thankfully it isn't because now it's easier for you to make the pin, right?
Yes. But
It
I
is
think
less
what I noticed though was that some of them had words. So scroll down to the one below 5 business sales tips to close more sales. Oh, okay. Now scroll off of that. So is it like, is that just what the pin is? Master the art of sales marketing?
yeah.
That's kind of boring, but
Yeah.
whatever.
So
Okay.
there's
All right.
definitely different ways that you can make your pins. And I would recommend, so let's use Michelle with her um, podcast as an example. So, Michelle, when you're making the idea for Pinterest is, or at least in my perspective, let's take the content you already have and stretch it and make it work for you. This isn't about creating new content day after day so you have something to pin on Pinterest. This is about repurposing what you already have. So, just for an example, on a podcast, you could have a pin that is just talks about the podcast, right? It has the podcast name, maybe a picture of you, or maybe a picture related to the subject matter, your pin URL at the bottom. Always add your URL just so people know it's your content. Um,
Oh,
like
okay.
every platform, there's like spammers, so just you want to make sure that your content is easily identifiable, that it's yours. Um, so then, what the heck were we talking about? Sorry, just
That's okay. I actually had an idea. So, like, you were giving me ideas on how I could create a
oh,
pin. So, like, part of Riverside, which is the platform I use for this, so after the podcast, it will give me little snippets that I can post to social media. So I can post that.
yeah. So you can make like the main image for your post. Then you can take out quotes from the post, and you can just make a quote image. Quotes actually do really well on Pinterest, so you can
Oh,
totally do that.
okay.
You could have an image where it's like you and me, like we're both on the image. You could have an image where it's like a list and it talks about three things we're going to cover in today's. Actually, let me just see.
Like the three letters that we're covering. We
Yeah,
could do the E, E, and E. This is what
yeah.
we talk about.
So I did just make something
Brilliant.
for I did just make something for podcasters.
This
So
just like it my geek flag is flying here. I love this.
okay, I'm going to share one more time. Well, maybe not one more time, but I'm going to share
Right?
for
Share as much as you want. Share as much as you want.
now. Okay. So this is something that I made for a product that I have. But this is just going to show you 5 templates of different ways you can promote one podcast episode.
Oh wait,
Or,
we're still on just the Pinterest screen.
oh, share this tab instead. There we go.
Okay. Look at
So
that, how cool.
So this can be like a video pin, and video pins don't necessarily need to be like an actual video, but if it has like a movement like this, Pinterest also likes it's considered a video pin. So
Okay.
that's an easy way you can create a video pin.
And that's in Canva. Okay.
Yeah, and here's one that's just a quote um,
How cool.
that you can just use this template. I can send you these, Michelle. That's no problem.
Okay. And then it
Um,
has the website. I see what you're talking about. It has the website name at the bottom.
Yep.
There's your
And so
website.
here's an example of using, and this is just like a template I
Ooh.
created. You could make any template, but like having the guest and the speaker on the podcast host, sorry, on the pin. This is the one where in this episode you'll learn thing one, thing two, thing three, and these are just colors that I like, so that's why they're those colors. You can definitely change anything. And then this is just an example of, you could use an alternative title and just put a picture. And, you can try this with a different font, or you can make the color maybe your secondary color that you use.
So
Uh,
like my mind is totally blown right now because so like we can subscribe to your like look y'all it has Chantal's name up there. So like I know on what's Canva
mhm.
you can like a creator.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yes, look, it has it. By I don't know how you share it.
Yeah.
Something we need to find out
Yeah.
because you can maybe release these to like the wider Canva audience. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I can
We'll figure
create
it out.
templates for days if that's something people are interested in. I created those myself, as you can probably tell, but I do have someone who does all my creative stuff on my team, and she does all the pin designs and everything. So maybe that's something people might be interested in is pin templates.
I am. That's a fun name, Pin Templates.
Yeah,
That's a fun name.
that's a great idea.
I love that. That's what I do. That's how I make sales feel good. So that's
Yeah,
how people find you. People find you on more than one place, okay? So
yeah,
like you are comfortable with Canva, you are comfortable with Pinterest, and you are comfortable with Facebook.
yeah,
And then like what I tell my clients is that become comfortable with a platform and then move on to another one
yeah,
and then move on to another one. And then you can incorporate what you do. So I hadn't even thought about, well, I had kind of, I guess, but yeah, using Canva as a place for people to connect with you.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's
that's a great idea.
awesome. Yeah.
That's a great
Okay.
idea.
So now, heck, that kind of leads us into leverage and connect the
Yeah.
L.
Yeah,
So
so the more pins that you have, as time builds. So Pinterest is different than Facebook and Instagram in a couple of ways. So Facebook and Instagram are very much social platforms, as we know. There's a lot of connecting with people. We also know that you get like instant gratification if someone comments or likes your post, right? That's always exciting. But we also know that depending on who you speak to, a Pinterest post or a Facebook post or an Instagram post is going to last 18 to 36 hours. That's its average shelf life. So Pinterest is different because it is a search engine. It takes time to like build up The
The
algorithm
algorithm.
takes time to build up your account. And the more you show it what you're doing and the more consistent you are, the better growth you're going to have. But it usually takes like a good 3 months until you're seeing like results you're really excited about.
Kind of like your website. Yeah.
Yeah, but that will bring you traffic month after month. Not every pin is going to take off, of course, but that's how you do it. And then once you have pins that you know are doing well, you can now go in, look at that pin, make other variations of that pin, and put those out there because we already know people like that. But maybe you could attract more people if it was in a different style or a different layout. And that, then you're just building on the momentum.
Yeah. That's what I tell. One thing that I tell my clients, and that I know you tell them as well, that's a huge point. We don't have to start from scratch, okay? You start from experience and you start from what people like. So if you're seeing a pin, if you're seeing a post, if you're seeing something that's getting a lot of engagement, use that format.
Yeah.
Don't try to start from scratch. We do that too many times as entrepreneurs. We have this, shiny object syndrome, thinking we have to do something new every time. We don't. We
Yeah.
don't. It make it easy on yourself, make it feel good.
Yes.
That's really stressful, thinking you have to start from scratch. So
Yeah.
I love that, Chantal. That is spot on advice. I love that.
Yeah, and it's all about, again, repurposing the content that you already have. If you have reels on Facebook or Instagram, you can use those reels on Pinterest. Pinterest does like video as well. I wouldn't like put up a reel of you just like talking. You would need to have like something on the front that says what it's about, because people aren't just gonna click on a talking face if they know nothing about you. So it's important to like draw them in with a title or what they can expect to get from listening to that episode. Um, but basically, all your content can be on Pinterest.
Yeah, we have to remember kind of like what the purpose of Pinterest is. Okay. It's for people to get ideas. People go there for knowledge. Okay. So you have to keep that in mind. Your pin needs to have a purpose.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
what I like to remind people of is what people do on Pinterest is different than what they do on Google. So they're both search engines, but on Google you're searching how to get the red wine stain out of my carpet right now, you know? Whereas on Pinterest you're going to see a post that has how to get 8 different stains out of your carpet,
I
right?
love
Which you're going to save because at one point you're going to have to deal with all these stains if you have kids or pets or you just like to have a good party. You're going to get a red wine stain on your carpet or you're going to get mud mushed into the rug or whatever it is. Um, so people are going to save that and they're going to come back to it. So, you know,
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
so and that's why we don't use the same search terms on Google as we do on Pinterest because people are coming there for different reasons.
Yeah.
Pinterest is a lot about like collecting information, saving it for later, inspiration. Um, they want to get something, so they um, email lists do well, for example, and now they're your one of your people, right? Because they're on your email list, and you can nurture them that way.
Beautiful. I love that. Thank you so much. And I was just looking, let's see here. Um, we've had uh, quite a few um, comments. That
Oh,
is fantastic, everybody. Thank y'all so much. How's it going on the Pinterest group? Have you checked it out?
I will. So my
Here we
Pinterest
go.
group is very new and it was created thanks to Michelle's encouragement. But it just started this week. And so, oh, I don't have any, I don't think. Oh, maybe I
Oh,
need to
you
refresh.
do. You do. You've got hello, Ro. I love it, Ro and Paige. Paige, thank y'all for joining us on the Pinterest group.
Oh,
Uh,
there it is.
yeah, yeah. Thank y'all so much. This has been extremely informative. And I am super motivated now to get my Pinterest up and
Yeah.
just to start using that as a tool because, I'm like, do I do I want to go to Instagram next? Do I want to go to LinkedIn? But Pinterest speaks my language.
And it is one that, like, consistency is very important. But it also is one that's like more forgiving if, something happens and you have to take a week off or things like that. I mean, you could always schedule your pins ahead, but you also want to, it is forgiving in that way, but definitely in the beginning, you're going to see the most success if you're posting consistently, even if that's
Perfect.
one pin a day.
Right. And that's with any platform that you get
Absolutely.
on. You need to be consistent. I want to thank you. And again, so like, uh, I will have Chantal's links in the show notes. So to her group and then also to your keyword. Can you repeat the name of that again?
Right. So it's a custom Pinterest keyword deep dive. And
Okay.
that
All right.
includes your 80 keywords, setting up 10 boards with descriptions, and um, something else. Oh, at least 15 content ideas based on those keywords.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. I love it. And then let's see. For me, I just created a connection tracker. So I'm going to
Yeah,
have that.
it's very
For
good. You
you.
should get
Yeah, I
it.
know. You know what? You guys, Chantal was my first one to use it. That's so much fun. I love it. So yeah, I just posted it on Facebook today and I'm going to get that on Pinterest. I'm going to start my Pinterest board just like I encouraged you to get your Facebook group up.
Yep,
I'm going to go for it. I'm going to get my Pinterest board up so that you guys can have it. And I want to challenge everyone who's watching today to start it and to contact Chantal and to get on her group so that we can all know and we can all be on Pinterest together and we can be Pinterest buddies.
sounds great.
All right. So I want to thank everyone. And I always end each podcast. And Chantal, I want you to stick around
Yep,
after I close the live. But I always end every podcast with if you feel good about your sales, you're going to make more. And when you make more sales, you make more money. That's that's what we're here for. That's why we do it as entrepreneurs. So I want to wish everybody a fantastic day and thank you so much for listening to this podcast and share it with every entrepreneur that you know. And thanks again. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the Feel Good Sales Podcast. I hope you're feeling inspired by Chantel's insights on how to make Pinterest a powerful tool for consistent traffic and business growth. It's really amazing how a few strategic tweaks can turn your existing content into a traffic driving machine. I'm so thankful to have had her on today. And if you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget, please, to like, subscribe, leave a review. It really helps other entrepreneurs find the podcast and improve their very own sales processes. And if you're looking to dive a little deeper into your own sales strategy, make sure you join our Feel Good Sales Facebook group, where we share tips and strategies, and we also support each other and we grow your business, which is the most important. Thank you again for listening, and we'll see you next time.